Welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager then, and the Haas playthrough here in the Fire mod. And at long last we are back after a short break, well, a bit of an extended break for the channel. Along with the F1 2018 content, we will be returning to Motorsport Manager and this playthrough. So I hope you guys are going to be back on board and ready for us to push this team towards challenging for a title within the next 2 seasons. First season, of course, we finished in 6th place. We've just finished season 2 where we improved to 4th and could have even beaten Williams for 3rd. But it's going to take a monumental effort to get anywhere near Mercedes and Ferrari. Now, Red Bull definitely had the 3rd best car, so they are sort of out of position. So that 3rd place is going to be the target, I feel, for next year. Now, but for this episode, we're just going to do a relatively short one where we get the car ready for next season and choose the driver to replace Kevin Magnussen to partner Leclerc in season number 3. Now, the options at the moment are both the Red Bull drivers, Ricciardo and Verstappen, and Nico Rosberg's on the horizon as well. I'm just waiting for a scouting report to come back on him, so we will maybe make that decision a little bit later on. And it also depends how much money we got left after building the car as well. But at the moment, you know, we're bringing in about 3 million a race, so I can afford to bring someone on board that's going to cost us around about 1 million. And Kevin Magnussen, obviously, we've not been paying very much, 62,000, so it's going to be 1 million almost straight off the budget. But I feel to get a star driver to really push this team towards those top 2 teams is going to be a good investment for the future. Right, we're not going to do interviews. We started doing them for a few races and we just always get them wrong, so we're not going to do that for the moment. We've got both race mechanics have got their contracts running down as well. So let's take a look at them both. Now, Gary Gannon could potentially be improved. Komatsu's pretty good, to be fair. So I think we'll try and renew that contract and then maybe get in a star mechanic in the other slot to go with the new star driver coming to the team. So the moment he's being paid 58,000, we can't actually offer him under 71,000. The way this is in this game, especially the Fire mod, is the people you start off with, you're paying a lot less than they'll actually accept when you go to renew. So all of our costs are going to go up next year. But hopefully we've got enough money in the bank to be able to build a good car and improve our driver. Right, he'd prefer long contracts. I'm okay with that. He's a pretty good race engineer. He's not too worried about bonus size, so hopefully he'll take 71,000, and then we will look for a new race mechanic then. We don't have to go all out. Preferably we want someone that is out of contract, so you don't have to pay a release fee. Andre Stella from McLaren is currently only being paid 36,000. So I wonder if we can get him for dirt cheap. It's been Fernando Alonso's race mechanic for a while, I think. Okay, let's see if he'll jump on board. See, again, we can't pay him under 104,000, but I'm okay with paying 104,000. Buyout clause, yeah, that's 48,000. He'd like a nice signing on fee. It's going to be 300k, but I'm okay for that. If we get a podium, no, if we get a win, you can have a bonus. Nothing less for this glorious Haas team, Andre. We'll pay him 112,000. He's expensive, but he's a good race engineer. So hopefully. He's been at McLaren, then Force India and Ferrari and Renault. Not sure that's all accurate, but that's the history it shows in this mod. Pit crew we'll deal with once we come to the first race of the season. Right, let's move along. Got it. Continue. And now we will get our prize money at the end of the season and move on to build our car for the upcoming season 3. And yeah, I feel we've got a little bit less money than this year, but we have finished further up in the championships. Hopefully we get a really nice bonus, and that will help us out. Right, prize money for 2017. 32 million, not bad. I can't remember what we got last season, but I'm sure that's more. Claire Williams is the manager of the season. I'd agree with that, bringing Williams back to third place. Whereas in the real life 2018 season, they are the worst team by a long way. Charles Leclerc, driver of the season. Good job, lad. You see, I would have given it to Auer from Williams as well. But, I'm happy with that. It's a good thing for Leclerc. I presume he might get a bonus for that as well. No, he doesn't get any perk. That seems odd. You'd think that would give the driver some kind of perk for a month or two. But apparently not. Right. Right, new rules for 2018, of course, spec rear wings this year. So that's going to be pretty useful. And I think it was us that actually tried to initiate that. And we got the Bruce's tyres. Can't for the life of me remember what benefit that's going to have. They either last longer or are cheaper or... yeah, one of the things. Right, Russian time go down and MP Motorsport get promoted to the F1 Championship then. Mucky Motorsport have been promoted to Formula 3 and Trident dropped down to Formula 3. It's quite interesting. It seems whenever a major team finishes in that final position, like McLaren did last year, actually no, I think it was in my personal playthrough, they don't get demoted, but when it's a Formula 2 team that's been promoted and gets put down, they always accept the promotion. So it's a shame, because it would be quite interesting to see like Sauber or McLaren or something in the champ. Actually, I think Sauber did go down, didn't they, the first year, to be fair. I'm chatting bollocks. And Sauber didn't actually come back up either, which is interesting. Right, come on. Let's see what these two contract proposals do. I'm a bit worried about the other two actually. Worried about the drivers accepting new contracts. Andre Stella, last chance. He wants more than that in terms of wages. A bigger signing on fee. It's going to be freaking expensive, this guy. Okay, 1.2 signing on. I'll go a little bit more on the bonus. And wages I'll go to 166. Past that, I'm not paying any more. And Komatsu is still considering his new offer then. Which I think we'll get the answer to now. He wants a renegotiation as well. Okay, what if we add a bonus for first of 36,000 and then just stick the wages up one? I mean, come on, he's being paid so much more. I guess now that we're big shots and finished fourth in the championship, they're expecting more money off us. The cheek of it. Right, this is what I've been waiting for, the car design for next season, to see if how much money we're going to have left over for other things. I'm wondering if we just try and do a consolidating year, really, because I don't want to go all out on this year's car. So we saved 19 million last year, which takes our budget for this year's car to 78 million. Bear in mind, we've still got to get a new driver as well. So, Ferrari are giving us a discount to 39 million. Still very expensive, but it is the biggest boost. Next up would be Mercedes, which is only a boost of 43. BMW would be a boost to 66, but they're going to cost more. Alfa Romeo, quite a bit cheaper, and a boost of 39. I think they're probably the excuse me. They're probably the best option. They're 5 million cheaper. It still gives us a nice boost to the power unit. Haas Alfa Romeo, that sounds good. I mean, we all know it's a Ferrari engine, but obviously a cut price Ferrari engine by the look of it. I can't remember who we were with last season. One of you guys will be able to tell me, I'm sure. But let's go with Alfa Romeo. I feel we've got to save some money about the place. And that saves us sort of 5 million over Mercedes. Ferrari would obviously be the best option, but it's almost 10 million more. So we may go back if we get the rest of the car for cheap, but I think that's unlikely to happen. Total are probably the best option for fuel. Actually, Gulf are very strong, and they're 500,000 less, so we'll go with Gulf. In terms of material, we can go Dallara, Lola, or Torre. Tyre wear, I generally think, is the most important. I'm not too bothered about tyre heating, so let's go with Lola. Brake supplier, we'll probably have to take a hit on this. I think we'll have to go with Brembo. And then battery supplier. I've got Tesla on it. That's pretty cool. Harvest efficiency, starting charge. See, we went with Ferrari last year. It makes the most sense to me. That starting charge, I prefer the harvesting efficiency because that's better across the course of the race. So we'll go with Ferrari again. There we go. That leaves us with about 15 million, which means we can probably get an HQ building and get the driver we want. And have a little bit of money left over to build the first couple of parts on the car. We've got some packaging options then. We can either go for tyre heating or improvability. I think we'll go for a sort of split between the two, and then we can use the nose height to max out the fuel efficiency because the tyre wear is great across the board. Then we've got almost a 5-star chassis on tyre wear and fuel efficiency, and about 3.75 on tyre heating and improvability. Then we get a little bonus obviously because of our financial background, so it means we actually end up with 17.7 million in the bank. Perfect. Right, now we can look at drivers. Scouting, we are currently scouting Nico Rosberg, aren't we? So I will wait probably those 23 days for that scouting report to finish. Ricardo has 13 months left on his contract, hasn't renewed it. Max Verstappen, 25 months. See, Ricardo would be my pick, but he's going to be a lot more expensive, I would imagine. And it's going to cost more to break the contract. So I feel like Verstappen might be the smarter option if Rosberg isn't... well, let's see what the scout report says from Rosberg, but I feel like Verstappen might be the better option. Verstappen and Leclerc as well. That's a pretty exciting lineup and one that will be able to stay within the team for many a year, as long as we give them the car to perform then. Daniel Kiewicz has gone from Renault to Red Bull then. That's interesting. So they've lost Daniel Ricciardo. So does that mean he's now unemployed? Let's go with our favourites. I haven't favourited anybody. I swear I'd favourited people. Nationality, that'd be quick to find him. Daniel? Where have you gone? He's Australian, so why is he not in the Australian section? Oh, we're in race mechanics. Pillock. Right. Scout, Daniel Ricciardo has moved to Mercedes then. So he's moved into the number 2 slot at Mercedes alongside Lewis Hamilton. So that means Bottas is now on the market. I don't really fancy Bottas though. So Verstappen is maybe the more likely. We'll see what Rosberg's scouting report comes. Raikkonen has moved to Renault. Jules Guyon, who are you, sir, has moved to McLaren as a reserve driver. Belgian driver Stoffel Vandoorne has signed for McLaren. Where was he previously then? Alonso has moved to McLaren. Are these these two re-signing, or have they been got rid of in season 1 and McLaren have signed exactly the same drivers for season 2? For season 3, sorry, after giving them a year out. That's bizarre if that's what's happened. Toro Rosso have got Alex Barbosa as the new race mechanic for Pierre Gasly. That's not really bothered about that. Salim Asana has signed as a driver for MP Motorsport. They're obviously not aiming for the stars with that one. Right, Ayaka Komatsu has accepted that contract. So that is renewed. And Andre Stella has actually straight up refused that. So I don't think we'll be working with him, unfortunately. So Scarlett Newey is the next unemployed. Is she actually related? I feel like I should know if she was, but it seems a bit of a coincidence, doesn't it, if she's not. Aren't very important, so let's go for 115,000 long contracts. None of that is important. But let's give her a little signing on fee anyway. If we can get her for under 150, that'll be good business right there. Right, I'm a bit worried about Max Verstappen moving on now that Ricciardo is, but I want to wait for Rosberg. Last chance. Wages are very important, but that's not enough. Right, we'll have to go to 173 then, maybe, and 500,000 signing on. I just want to get this out of the way. Right. Press HQ visit. We'll increase our marketability. How are we looking for sponsors anyway? Once we replace Magnussen, that will go back up. We don't need to renew a sponsor till Singer. We're not going to get much sponsorship money, especially fixed payment sponsors, for quite a while, the big slots. I like the fact we got Red Bull on this car. Randstad and ATAT. Rauch. I think they're like a grocery company. I swear I've seen that sticker on an apple before. Anyway. You didn't want to review a contract? No, we didn't. Well, I mean, the marketability is always useful. The morale, Leclerc can recover pretty quickly. But again, we're not really looking at getting any new sponsors for a while. At least 3 races. So we'll be getting this big increase in marketability, but we won't see the benefit of it until the end of the season, unfortunately. Right, Scott Newey is happy to sign that. Let's make sure we put her in the right slot, for God's sake. And she will be... I've got pins and needles. That's information you didn't need, but I have for some reason. Right, so we will keep Komatsu with Leclerc, and Scarlett Newey will be the new race engineer for either Max Verstappen or Nico Rosberg, then, I guess. Right. We've got to wait. I think that scout report was actually finished. There we go. He's looking pretty good, isn't he? He's got 100% marketability. I feel we've got the potential here to let's make him equal with Charles. Long contract. Let's see if we'll take $3.99, and what we'll do is we'll offer for Verstappen as well, because I feel I would be happy with each driver, but I feel the money is going to be the contributing factor as to who we go for. Because they're both very similar. Obviously, Max has got the future, is the future star. But will he... Oh, he's not interested. Well, that kind of wraps that up. It's Nico Rosberg or bust now then. Let's hope he's not too insulted. Right, and he wants a bit more from his wages. What if we give him a little signing on fee and bump that up to 560? That's a big jump, actually. Let's continue and see what he says. Okay, Magnussen is in form. I mean, that's great. I think he's on his way. So that's great for whoever picks him up. Oh, come on, Nico. Let's not make this different. Ah, looks good. Okay, perfect. That's a bit less than I feel we would have had to pay for Ricciardo. I feel Ricciardo would have been up near $1 million. Verstappen probably would have been about this much, but obviously he wasn't remotely interested. So there we go. For season number 3, Kevin Magnussen, you've done a great job these last 2 years. And I know that you have lots of fans out there, especially that have watched this series. But it's time for this team to try and make that next step up. And we need a world champion and a real quality driver that has great marketability and doesn't comment about sucking balls all the time, because that was a disaster that year. Right, it's expensive. It costs us $500,000 to get rid of Magnussen as well, but it only takes us down. We still make $2 million a race, even with our new engineers and Rosberg on board, so that's still pretty handy. So Rosberg is on board for season number 3. We have experience and youth all ready to go. Right, our tyre wear is almost as good as it can be, so there's no point in paying that money. I feel we could maybe make some upgrades somewhere. So what haven't we got built? We've got test track for the engine, which would be good. Simulator for the rear wing, don't need that because it's a stock part now. So I'm thinking we build a test track for the engine. It's the upgrades. Staff centre would be helpful to bring a Leclerc along. I feel he's improving well as he is, and he did a good performance last year. So he did a good performance. I'm speaking like a child. Right, test track. Yeah, let's go for that. 7.6 million still leaves us with 8 million in the bank to make those early improvements to the car. Lovely. We're in good shape. We're in good shape. I feel we don't need to go mad this season. Just building on the success of last year. Although it does currently say we have a much worse car than MP Motorsport, but then it said that last year and we finished 4th, so I won't take too much notice of it. We're nearly ready then. Livery, right. I'm just going to make it easy and not put any blue in it this year, so it can't be purple. Okay? Because I don't trust my colour blindness to get it right this time. Right, Charles recovered from his cold. Force India have a brakes R&D. Test track for McLaren. Okay. Has vowed to get his life back on track, literally. To some well-publicised recent problems. What was recent problems? I didn't hear about this. I feel like this should have been made open before we signed him. I've been distracted, I've had my problems, and now it's time to forget that and start doing what I do on this planet to do race. That's right, Nico. Let's get you a second world championship. An upgraded factory Force India as well. They're spending big on their facilities. Right, livery. Primary colour. Let's make it sort of. Oh my god, I can't pick a grey. Is that sort of a yellow? That's a Mercedes colour almost, isn't it? Let's go for a sort of dark grey like that. Secondary colour, black. Tertiary colour, white. And then trim colour we'll make red. And then we need to find a livery that will fit that. So all of these liveries look terrible. I think we've got to use the workshop ones, haven't we? Right, that's the Mercedes livery, although it does look pretty cool, but it has, unfortunately, Mercedes number on it. That's, why not? We're sponsored by Red Bull now. let's not go with their livery. Right, that's all the current teams. That is a livery we could use. So what are these? Are these Formula 2 liveries? Oh, I like that. That'll do me. I think that's a good car for this year. Going back to the red, white, grey and black. that's going to be our car for this year. If anyone's got any problems with it, tough. I think it looks good. And it's also the least important thing of the season, let's be honest. Right. That is the new chassis done. Almost. Unique opportunity. Well, I doubt that. Williams Grand Prix have been in the news lately for one of their engines caught fire in their garage. It reduced the happiness of the chairman. The chairman's pretty happy at the moment. Where's our marketability at? So I say we haven't got any sponsors coming anytime soon. So I don't see any need really. Team marketability is at 93.1 then. So we're going to get those 5-star sponsors anyway, so there's no need to slag off another team and piss off the chairman, just in case we get a really bad start to the season, because we don't want to be fired. Right. I feel this is a good time to do it. The car is nearly finished. We'll have pre-season testing very quickly before... Now, let's do pre-season testing. Let's get past that. It gives us absolutely no idea how good the car is, but let's get it done anyway. Pre-season testing. As long as it doesn't catch fire, then we're probably okay. A lot of new names in the sport this year, by the look of it. Got Sellers, Schellers. I never know how to say that name. Andre Sellers. Got Galeo in a Toro Rosso. Kielwitz in a Red Bull. Asana in the MP Motorsport. Who's the other MP Motorsport driver? 1, 2. Mark Webber returning to Formula 1. Blimey. For MP Motorsport. Hour for Williams. The car doesn't look great. I'm going to be honest. Top speed doesn't look too good. But I think this is the kind of position we were in last season. The morale's gone up with both drivers as well. So that's obviously what they were expecting. Okay, we will leave it here. As usual, first episode or the first race of the season we cut into 2 parts. The pre-season and then the first race in Australia. So we will... be back probably at the weekend to do the build-up to the first race, including getting the car ready and the reliability in a good shape. But until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and are excited to see the return of the season, return of the series even, and Season 3. What do you think about the choices we made with the car, with the drivers? Race engineers have changed, one of them, and the new livery as well. Lots to talk about. Hopefully you guys agree with all the decisions. If not, just let me know. We're all allowed different opinions after all. And as always, thank you everybody for watching. And I'll see you again next time.